Hey guys. Um, so excuse like the mess, but I was actually straightening things out here in Hawk's room while he's napping. He's actually napping in my room in his rock and play or whatever. Um, so anyway, this is going to be my birth story video that I'm finally doing. Hawk is 3 weeks and 2 days old today. Um, And like I said, I'm here by myself. Greg finally went back to work yesterday, and I spent the whole day at my mom's house. So today he went to work again, and I'm here by myself, and I've just been like cleaning and stuff since Hawk is such a good sleeper. Um, so that's what I've been doing. So I figured I would go ahead, sit down real quick before he wakes up because he's gonna wake up pretty soon to eat. Um, anyway, I figured I would just do my birth story video now. Um, so anyway, the last video that I did here, I don't really remember, but I think I updated you guys. It was like my last doctor visit, and then I was scheduled for another one. Um, Basically, I had a really good doctor's appointment, and then I went back the following week or 2 weeks, and it was not a good one. Then I had another doctor's appointment, which was on July 23rd, at 11 o'clock in the morning. By this time, my preeclampsia was going haywire. My blood pressure was through the roof. My swelling was ridiculous. I was literally swollen from head to toe, which I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it's gone down a lot. I think it's completely gone already. Um, but it was basically, it was bad. I was miserable. Um, Everything hurt, everything, yeah, I was on strict bed rest. Um, so anyway, so by this point we had our doctor's appointment. Went in, and like I said, my blood pressure was super high. Um, my swelling was really bad. My feet, my legs, my thighs, like everything was just really bad. Um, the doctor um, checked me, and she was like, "You're 2.5 centimeters dilated." She's like, "We're just gonna go ahead and get this baby out today." She's like, "I'm just gonna send you straight over to labor and delivery, and we're gonna go ahead and induce you, and we're getting this baby out." And she was like, "This should be a really easy, really quick induction. You know, it's gonna go fine, okay?" So by this point, we were prepared for once. After being sent the last 2 times to labor and delivery, we were just like, we're taking our bags with us, we're taking the baby's car seat with us, we're taking everything with us to this doctor appointment, and whatever happens, happens. And sure enough, we were sent to the hospital. So thankfully, we had everything we needed with us. Um, we get there, and from the get-go, from the start, I knew it was going to be all bad. I'm not going to mention the hospital that I was at, but the nurses that I got in labor and delivery were not the greatest. My first nurse was a traveling nurse, so basically it was like she was new, and she made the mistake of telling me that, so I was just nervous already. She was, Shelby's gonna go check on Hawk. She was telling me that she was a traveling nurse, and that basically she works at a new hospital every few months, and it's like learning all over again. You don't tell someone who's about to have a baby that. She put my IV in, and I practically bled to death. There was blood everywhere just from her sticking the IV in my hand. Um, it was just horrible from the very beginning. Everything was just not going right. My blood pressure didn't seem to be going down. They put me in my IV. I had magnesium going to prevent seizures because my blood pressure was so high. I had, what else did I have? I had something else going. I still don't even know what it is. I don't remember. Um, And then I also had antibiotics going because I had, I forget what it's called, but I have the bacteria thing. I have it, of course. Um, so anyway, that's going on. She comes in and she puts the catheter in. So, bless you. So basically, I guess it's normal. What the second nurse tells me is usually the catheter doesn't go in until, the person gets their epidural, so they don't even feel it. I was aiming for a natural birth. I wanted as natural as possible. No pain meds, no epi, no nothing. Uh, I just wanted a natural vaginal birth. That's what I wanted. Um, so I get this catheter placed, and it hurt like hell. Um, it was the most horrible feeling ever. Greg was in the room, and I wanted to just like strangle the lady. It hurt so bad. Anyway, so I had that happen to me. Then she comes in and she does the induction, which they did, I guess, all wrong, or they just did it however they wanted to do it. Um, because they did the pill, the little pill that they stick in you. That's what she did. When it should have been the Pitocin that should have gone in right away, which I didn't learn until the doctor came in hours later. Um, so basically, that happened with the first nurse. Um, second nurse basically tells me that because of my blood pressure, because of how high it is and how it keeps going up high, she's like, it's just going to get higher once you start to feel your contractions. Apparently I was having contractions and lots of them, but I wasn't feeling them. And she said that the contractions are going to get worse, and I'm going to feel them, and my blood pressure is going to go up even more, which is bad for the baby because that's what pain will do. And she basically told me you need to get the epidural or the pain meds. And the pain meds are not going to work because, whatever. And basically, she just told me I had to get the epidural. Um, so I finally, I told her, to go. And my mom was there, Greg was there. And I'm not even going to lie, I cried. I cried because, like I said, I wanted a natural birth. Um, but I know that the high blood pressure is not good for the baby. And I finally just gave in and I was like crying. I told my mom, I was like, fine, we'll do the epidural and, whatever. Nurse comes back in. I tell her, they call the anesthesiologist, who was already having a bad day herself. She had who knows how many C-sections that day. And by the time she got to me to give me my epidural, she had been in a C-section for over 2 hours. And she said all of this in front of me in the room. They were talking about this. So I'm just like, this lady's practically delirious because she hasn't slept in who knows how long. And here she is doing my epi. Whatever. So anyway, they do the epidural. It works for all of maybe 4 hours. What it did was I had a nap, and I woke up from my nap in the worst pain ever. It was so bad, I don't even know how to describe it. My contractions went from like 0 to 1,000 in just that like 1 second. They went from nothing to, oh my God. And it was horrible. It was horrible. And then the epidural wasn't working. And the nurse was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's not working. It was nothing but apologies. And it was contraction after contraction after contraction. By this point, my story's all over the place, but I hope you guys are getting it because it was just so bad. By this point, I had stopped urinating at maybe 4 hours prior to this. If not, maybe a few hours. The thing is, I had stopped urinating. My catheter was full of blood. The nurse knew this. The nurse never called my doctor to let the doctor know what was going on. Little did I know that the magnesium actually affects your kidneys, um, which is what I was on for the seizures. Um, there was just so much wrong happening. The doctor came in to check on me. The doctor actually came in just to check how far along I was in the induction. Doctor comes in, she's like, "Where is the Pitocin?" There was none. They did the pill. Doctor was like, "Why?" I ordered Pitocin. She tells them to get it done now. They finally tell her about the blood in my catheter. They never called her to let her know that I had been bleeding. I had stopped urinating for like 4+ hours. Doctor is like, "We need to get this going. We need to get this going right now." She breaks my water. That was again the worst feeling in the world. And you know what? I actually got that all wrong. No, I didn't. Okay, no, I'm right. She breaks my water. It's another worst feeling ever. So all this is happening to me. First time ever giving birth, first pregnancy, first time mom. All this stuff is happening to me, and I'm like, why? Why me? The contractions come in. I cried twice. I'm not gonna lie, I cried twice, and I was telling my mom, like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? It was just so bad. And then the doctor came in again, like a few hours. By this point, I don't even know what's going on anymore. I just remember the doctor came in again to check me out, and I was like at 4 centimeters, and I guess things were just not moving as quickly as she wanted them to move, as quickly as they should have moved, because they should have done more sooner. And she was like, "No, we need to get the baby out now." My blood pressure again was through the roof. My swelling was horrible. There was just so much going on that the doctor was like, "We need to get this baby out now. You need to wheel her out, take her in. We're getting this baby out right now." So I went in for an emergency C-section. I was actually losing consciousness before I was even anesthetized. Is that how you say it? Before I was even given the anesthesia. I was already going in and out of consciousness, and I'm assuming it was from the blood pressure going. I do remember when they were rolling me in that all the nurses and everybody, and they were running around like chickens with their head cut off. Nobody was understanding why they had waited so long, why I had been laying in that bed for so long when it should have moved a lot quicker. Like, my baby was in danger. I was in danger. I wasn't even urinating anymore. It was all blood. And I could see and I could hear them where they were saying, "This is full of blood. It's just blood." And well, yeah, I mean, it was just horrible. And then I remember I was going in and out, and I I don't know if it was a doctor because it was a man, but I just remember him telling me, "No, no, no, don't close your eyes, don't fall asleep." He was like, "No." He's like, "Take deep breaths, take deep breaths." And he was like tapping me and like moving me. And they finally got me like stabilized or whatever. They got the anesthesia going and everything. And by this point, I didn't even know where Greg was. They had him sit outside while they prepped me, while they got me going. They were supposed to go back and get him, and they never did. But thankfully, I was still in my right mind that I asked for him. I was like, "Where is my husband? Like, where is he?" And the guy was like, "Oh, we're gonna go get him right now." And they finally went and they got him. And I remember him sitting next to me, but I don't really remember much else. And basically, he told me what was going on. Shelby, come here. Um, basically, baby was already in the birth canal, like trying to travel out. So the doctor had to literally like pull him back out. Um, I guess she was on top of the table, the surgery table or whatever. She had to get on top of it and then on top of like over me, and she was yanking. She was just like pulling him, trying to get him out. Um, and I mean, I don't remember seeing him until maybe 3 hours after he was born, which sucks. It was a little saddening because I didn't get to see my baby right away. Or unless I did get to see him, but I didn't remember seeing him. But Greg did get to see him, and he got to hold him right away. And I woke up in a different room um, hours later. He was born at 7:04 a.m. on the 24th, which was a whole day after I had been admitted to labor and delivery. Um, and I didn't get to see him. Well, I woke up in a different room, which was, I guess, the recovery room. I woke up there. Um, Greg apparently was in there. I still don't remember it, but he said that he was in there and he was talking to me. I was talking to him. And then he had to leave because they had to check me and stuff. I don't remember. I don't remember it. I wish I did, but I don't. Um, and then I finally got wheeled back to my room, and it was about 10 o'clock. So um, then I had to wait like another like 20 or 30 minutes, I think, for them to bring him in, to bring Hawk in. So after giving birth to him, I didn't get to see him until he was already like 3.5 hours old. But by then he looked like a different baby from the pictures I saw. He was really swollen. He had a rough one too. He actually came out with like a bruise kind of scrape on his nose. They say it could have been from my tailbone or something. He had a hematoma on his head, and they say that could have been from the tugging, from trying to get him out of the birth canal and out of me. So he had a rough delivery too. He looked like a completely different baby um, in just the 3 hours that he was out. But that was my birth story. Like, I just talked for almost 20 minutes. It was not a good experience for my first. It is my last, though, which I'm thankful for because despite, you know, the ignorance of these nurses I had, despite the pain, despite everything, the scare and everything that happened, he came out healthy. I came out okay. Um, everything turned out fine. I just don't wish to do it again. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's my birth story. Um, I don't know if I might have left something out or anything, but um, that's that's how I remember it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that.